your boy, Robert Teagarden, back again with another video. I hope everyone is doing well. It's so good to see you here. I hope that everyone had a fantastic day. I know I did, except for, well, there's like one little thing that I'm not really that happy about. It's actually a great thing. Yesterday we made funfetti cupcakes. Funfetti is my favorite thing in the world. This is me at my wedding, eating the top tier, which is an entire tier of just box funfetti cake. I don't think that there's anything better than funfetti, and so we made cupcakes, and so that's not a bad thing, except I just keep eating all of these cupcakes and we have so many left in the house. Look, like a whole plate, and I've had like 4, maybe 5 already today. This one's not for me though. That's Franco, my 2-year-old. He's eating the top off of that one right there. But I've had my fair share. Now, longtime viewers of this channel know that about 1.5 years ago, I left a corporate job that I was at for over 10 years to come and work at home with my family. Now, the way I transitioned my income is something we're gonna get into in just a second. But one of the main things I did is I started to teach a lot more part-time. I teach at several universities throughout the Southern California area. It's something I've talked about a couple times on this channel, and that's really where this story begins. I teach intellectual property law, but I also teach some entrepreneurial classes, and so one time I had a friend that was guest lecturing one of my classes. This guy's incredible, and afterwards he got bombarded by students, and one of the students said, listen, I have a great corporate job, but what I really want to do is work as an artist manager. Immediately my friend responded, do you have a car? And have you ever had a DUI? Now that seems like a crazy question, but I'll get into why he said that in just a second. I came home and all I could think about was what he had said. Now, a lot of you know that what I've been doing is transitioning a lot of my time away from the home-based business that I have and working more and more as a professional videographer. And it kind of begs the question, even for me, how do I transition into something that I'm passionate about, a creative life that I'm passionate about, but still be able to fund my lifestyle? In my case, it's literally pay my mortgage, feed my kids, and make sure that the lights stay on. In your case, it may be something a little bit different, but today we are going to talk about how to do just that. If you want to be a photographer, this video's for you. If you've got student loans but you want to be a music producer, then this video is for you. If your mommy and daddy want you to be some fancy CPA but all you want to do is draw, this one is for you.
I do voices.
Today, I'm going to give you 5 tips to control your time and income so that you can focus on becoming a creative. Number 1, guys, is ride sharing. Now, when my buddy asked my student, do you have a car and have you ever had a DUI, what he was encouraging her to do is start driving for Uber and Lyft. Now, I hope in today's day this is something that seems abundantly obvious. I don't really understand when people say I don't have a job or I can't find a job. This type of new school, share economy type of stuff is just amazing, and it really leads people to never have an excuse for not having work. But the last thing I heard is that if you drive 60 hours a week for Uber, you can make 100 grand a year. Now, you may not need 100 grand a year to fund your lifestyle, and that's totally understandable. So drive less and make less. But the thing here is that you're really in control of your time. So that if you have a session gig or a shoot or a studio session that you need to be able to take care of, well, then you can make your schedule around when those things are so that you can be on time for whatever the call time is. The thing here is that you want to figure out surge pricing and the proper locations and be able to be nice and have all the appropriate stuff ready so that you can work that tip system. Just make that thing work for you. And this is an unbelievable option nowadays. Really, it should be first on everyone's list if you're looking to figure out a way to transition into a different career. Now, number 2 are concierge services. Things like Postmates, DoorDash, Uber Eats, but also things like TaskRabbit and Fancy Hands. Now, these concierge services, whether food-based or errand-based, are an amazing way for you to make some extra money on your own time. Similar to rideshare platforms, you get to create your own schedule so you can be where you need to be whenever you need to be there. Same thing. Be nice, go the extra mile, and work that tip system so that you can get a little bit extra cash. Now, I really just can't say enough about these types of platforms, whether it's rideshare or concierge service. Long gone are the days where people are unemployed. Just get out there and start driving and bringing stuff to people who need them it's just incredible. Now, number 3 is online selling. Now, I've made no secret about the fact that the majority of my income at this point comes from selling products online with eBay. I personally use wholesale liquidation products, which you could find if you do a deep enough dive on the internet, but that's not the only option that you have. I've been to the sellers conference for eBay for the last couple of years, and I'm constantly amazed at where people are sourcing their products from. They go garage sailing, they go to thrift stores, they go to clearance sections at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, you name it. They just go and find stuff. The concept is super simple. You find something for a cheap price and then you mark it up so that by the time you pay your eBay fees, your PayPal fees, and you ship the product, you have a profit there. Now, to be honest, this is just really a great lesson in business, and I personally think that it's kind of fun. So I would imagine that most people have a couple $1,000 just lying around their house and stuff that they don't use that they've got, maybe old gifts, things that they used to play, Super Nintendo, NES consoles and games, DVDs, you name it. There's a bunch of stuff sitting around your house that you could get rid of for a bunch of cash. And eBay really isn't the only option. We've got Craigslist, we've got this new influx of online marketplaces like Let Go, and Facebook Marketplace is an amazing thing. These are all ways that you could take things that you either find in your home or that you go and source out in the community and flip it online for $1. This stuff works, I promise. So number 4 are virtual assistants and the gig economy. So if you've got a special skill or you like administrative work, then the gig economy is something that you have to check out. Virtual assistants are just a massive opportunity. What's a virtual assistant? Well, virtual assistants are basically people that have some type of special skills, like they're either great at Photoshop work or they can do edits. They also can offer just basic administrative emailing and autoresponders. We have a virtual assistant that works for us for our eBay store that takes care of all of the listings up to a certain point.
Tool time with Tea Garden.
That jingle right there, I actually paid someone on the gig economy to create that jingle for me. I paid her $15, which is $5 per harmonized line, and she created that thing within 3 days. Now, I've read stories and heard stories about people that are making upwards of $100,000 a year on the gig economy.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly what he said. That's a lot of money, guys. It's no schlub of an opportunity. So,
where do you find them?
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Basically, if this is something that you're into, you know, you're a singer or you have just your great bookkeeper or something like that, this is something that you have to look into. And things like Fiverr and Upwork, those are all places that I go to look for this type of work that are massive little web economies that you can go to that facilitate this type of work. It's pretty incredible stuff. So gig economy and virtually assistanting stuff. Do you have to keep eating them?
Delicious. What do you want
I know,
me to do?
but lastly, I want to take a second to talk about these buzzwords that are going around like hustle, beast mode, and grind. You take a look on any social media platform and that's all you're going to see from people. And there's a really good reason for this. I mean, I do it sometimes, I see my cohorts doing it, a lot of people are doing it, and this is why. If you've got the balls, if you have the audacity to think that you are going to make a living off of your creative talents, you need to work your face off in order to make that happen because the competition is so ridiculously high. This concept of 40-hour work week is completely gone. You are going to be able to work from the time that your eyes open in the morning until you just pass out at night. And there is just no other alternative. Now, my opinion for why this happens is this. I think people choose a paycheck for a lot of reasons, but most of them are surrounding security. And security of income has an opportunity cost. And that opportunity cost is that most of the time, you don't get to follow your creative passions. Now, yes, there are people that are fortunate enough to absolutely love what they do and get a paycheck for it. But you know what? That's not most of us. And so when you're looking at a situation like that, if you're fortunate enough to be able to follow your passions, there's an opportunity cost for that too, and that is there is no security of income. Well, the only way that you get to make up for the lack of security of income is to work like someone is trying to light you on fire. And guys, I don't want to sugarcoat this. It is a tremendous amount of work. I'm a person that's never shied away from hard work. That's just kind of the way I am. And I was totally blindsided by the amount of work it takes to actually make a living off of your creative passions. So don't be fooled. I'm not trying to sell you some bill of goods. If you're not that type of person that is willing to forego everything else in lieu of what they're passionate about, then maybe this isn't for you. Because I gotta tell you, this means early mornings, late nights. This means no vegging out on the couch, no Game of Thrones, no Stranger Things, no Rick and Morty, none of that stuff. You just have to grind it out and work like no one's watching. I gotta say that it's a crazy amount of work, but the reward that you have just from an integrity standpoint about the fact that you're making a living off of your creative passions, it's just priceless, guys. It's priceless. I'm not 100% there yet, but just a little bit of it that I've tasted, I want more. I want more. So that's it. Those are my 5 tips on how you can transition into a creative life that you are passionate about without having any trouble paying your bills. Are you guys doing any of this stuff already? Leave a comment below and let me know which ones have worked for you, maybe some of the ones you've tried that haven't worked, but I really want to know, what are you guys doing? What are you trying? What are you talking about? Let's get this dialogue going down in the comments. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please like this video. Also, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, what are you waiting for? I post content on a regular basis on a wide variety of subjects, but all of it is surrounding this creative life and how I'm making that transition happen. And please guys, if you found this content useful at all and you have friends or family that you think would be into it, please, please, please share it with them. I would love for you to do that. In the meantime, guys, remember, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. This is Robert Teagarden with another fantastic video. I'll see you next time. Peace.